the Darkhold, the Eye of Agamotto, the Book of Cagliostro, and the Machina de Cabidus, all in one room. Oh no, Steven, that's not a good idea. Don't do it! Hello, this is Ken. I like making things. I love finding affordable ways to DIY a variety of things. Money can't buy everything, except maybe figures. I love collecting figures and recreating iconic scenes. Every figure deserved to shine on my display. So every week I ask myself the same question, and answer it by creating something I'm proud of. Join my weekly adventure by subscribing to my channel. Leave your feedback and suggestions down below. I often get inspired by your comments, and I hope I can inspire you too. Last week, I fixed Defender Strange and gave him screen-accurate facial hair. I also attempted to make the mirror dimension. Check that video out if you haven't already. Here's another Strange. I got him from the Infinity War 3-pack with Iron Man and Thanos. I thought it was such a great figure back then. I believe this is right around the time Hasbro started doing the facial scan, and they've improved quite a bit since then. The No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness Doctor Stranges are all pretty good, but I think this figure still holds up. Figures nowadays look pretty stoic, but this Strange is very animated. So, let's deconstruct this figure. One of the first things I noticed is that the outfit has this windswept feel to it. Look at this belt. It's going in all different directions. There's also a lot of molded details on the outfit. There's texture everywhere. They even did a black wash on the underside of the Cloak of Levitation, something they've stopped doing since. However, the backside of the cloak is unpainted and looks very glossy. It doesn't have that cloth-like velvety feel to it. Okay, the face is a bit off. It resembles Benedict Cumberbatch, but it also looks a bit cartoonish. I do like the facial expression though. I decided to make a prop for every Doctor Strange related figure. So I made the Book of Cagliostro, the Star-Shaped Portal, the Darkhold, the box from No Way Home, and the Mirror Dimension. But if there's one thing that's synonymous with Doctor Strange, it's the Sanctum Sanctorum. I'm gonna build a mini version so I can display all the Doctor Strange props in it. So, can I make it? Let's start by fixing the figure first. Oh, don't mind Strange's posture. He's a bit skeptical. Anyway, I find the colors on this figure a bit dull, so I want to make the outfit more vibrant. Starting with the blue. There's really nothing wrong with the original color. I just want to give it a fresh coat of paint to make it less dated. Like you can tell this figure was made a while ago. The effect is very subtle, but I'm enjoying the more saturated blue. Next, I'm adding a bit of brown to the belt, just to give it more definition and add a bit more colors to the outfit. I also decided to add a bit of silver to make the belt pop more. There are also some unpainted metal buckles on his boots, so I'm going to add them back in. I've made the decision to not add the blue straps on the boots. I think that's just too much blue. I've never noticed the blue straps in the movies. Now for the cloak. I'm going to paint a layer of red over it first. This will take away some of the gloss. Then I'm going to darken the patches on the cloak with purple. I don't like using black to darken colors, because black tends to muddy things. The purple on the other hand will give it more of a softer shade. Okay, I'm not satisfied. So I'm now applying blue to add even more shading to the cloak. Blue is a cool toned color. When it's blended with a warm red, I'll end up with a darker, cooler red. Like what I did with my Spider-Man. Okay, time to fix the face. The first thing I noticed is how tan Strange looks. I can't really change the facial structure, but I can adjust the skin tone to match Benedict Cumberbatch. I also applied a thin coat of black to his hair, so it's a bit darker. The goatee is actually pretty good, so I don't need to do anything to it. The white hair though, is not white enough. Individually, all these colors are fine on their own, but when you combine the dull blue, the black belt, the darker skin color, and the grey hair, it makes this figure look really old. Like those old paintings that haven't been restored for decades. Here's the before and after. Look how unnaturally tan the original looks. The original white hair is also barely noticeable, On a positive note, I love the expression on this head. Here's the finished figure. I like how the painted one stands out more now. The colors are popping and don't look as dull anymore. It no longer has this dated feel to it, and kinda looks like a brand new figure now. Here's a closer look. The face is growing on me. The newer Doctor Stranges look more like Benedict Cumberbatch, but they lack personality. This head oozes attitude, something I feel is lacking in the newer figures. Here's the comparison between the two Doctor Stranges. The new one has better range of motion, and can stand more naturally, but I feel like the old one is still holding up nicely. I didn't get the No Way Home version because he was wearing the same outfit, even though that one seems to be the better figure. I didn't want to replace this one. Not sure if this is a good thing, but this figure comes with the Time Stone magic effects on his right arm. The details are amazing, but they are not removable. So this Doctor Strange is always casting his magic. But it kinda works, because the design of this Doctor Strange is quite dynamic. Like he's meant to look like he's in motion. Time to build the Sanctum. The most iconic part of Sanctum Sanctorum has got to be the circular window. Everything else should complement it and make it feel grand. That's why I ended up not doing a ceiling, because the ceiling was visually shrinking the window, closing up the space. By removing and clearing the ceiling, it opens up the space, keeping the attention on the window. Alright, I got everything printed. Time to cut, and fold. You may notice that the window is not a perfect circle. That's because it's easier to fold and glue straight lines than curved ones. Okay, here's the window frame. Just gotta glue the symbol on it to complete the look. Next, gotta build the base to hold the window upright. There we go. That already looks very cool. But my end goal is to build a set for all the props. So I'm gonna continue building the room. Gotta add a bit of furniture, so the room doesn't look too empty, and the props can have something to sit on. Ta-da! Look at all the props. Something seems off. Let me see. It's the window. I thought about keeping it see-through, but it just doesn't look right without the entire window design. Ah, that looks so much better. Here you go. Doctor Strange, you are home. Yeah, it's a bit on the small side and not to scale, but I have to keep my displays compact because I'll run out of space in no time if they're all to scale. For me, it's more important to capture the feel of the scene than to recreate it perfectly. The first thing Strange did with the Time Stone was to test it on an apple, so I gotta include it to my display. I'm so proud of my apple. It's just made out of air-dry clay. More shots of my lovely apple. Okay fine, I'll stop. I'll replace it with the Eye of Agamotto. The base of the Eye of Agamotto is kinda ugly. It's very hard to fold and glue such small items, okay? Don't judge. The other neat thing about this display is that I can take it apart and just use the window as a decorative piece. It's such a cool background piece. The empty walls don't look as great, but with all the props in display, this whole set looks complete. This is where the figure looks its best. The magic effect, the dynamic outfit, and the facial expressions work really well in a scene like this. It looks like he's in the middle of casting a spell. I don't think the newer figures look as dynamic. Anyway, here's a few more shots of the display by itself. What a nice prop room. Whoever gets in here can rule the multiverse. What do you think? Do you like what it did to the Sanctum Sanctorum? Let me know down below. Okay, let's end this with a photo shoot. Hey, you can now support me on Patreon. I post quite regularly there, from behind the scenes updates to sneak peeks to video breakdowns. Top tier members will receive a DIY 3D mini poster every month. These mini posters look great by themselves, but even cooler next to other mini posters. I love making things, and this is my way to thank my supporters. The link to my Patreon is in the description box down below. Why does he look so good in photos? To be honest, this figure is quite limiting when it comes to posing. The legs are always at an angle, and the hands make it difficult to do any relaxed poses. So a lot of these poses are similar, but in a way, that's what makes this figure great. The facial expression works so well in these photos. There's this arrogance to this Doctor Strange, like he knows he can do whatever with his spells. The window makes a nice backdrop. Batman got his bat symbol, and Doctor Strange got his window. The Sanctum does look a bit small, but with the right camera angle, I can get some pretty awesome shots. I love this shot. Look at all the details on the magic effect. Now let's have him read the Book of Cagliostro, recreating the scene from the first movie. Now let's have him cast the spell from No Way Home. Look at him, so confident. I'm glad I gave this figure a second chance. I had tucked this away for a while because other figures seemed cooler, but now he gets his own display. Speaking of display, the Sanctum looks so cool by itself. It kinda has this lifelike quality to it. Even though everything is made out of paper, it kinda looks like a life-size movie set. Anyway, I had a ton of fun making this video. Give this video a like if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more Marvel Legends related content. My goal is to reach 10k subs in the near future. Stay inspired, and I'll see you next week. I can make it, so can you.